Oh, man. WrestleMania Night 1 in Hollywood just concluded literally moments ago. We still got Night 2 tomorrow night, but I got to talk about what I just watched. WrestleMania Night 1, and I got to talk about that main event. I have said throughout this whole Bloodline storyline that we've been watching for months and months and really a year now, I have said, first of all, it's one of the best wrestling storylines ever. And B, I have also said that we as fans need to cherish this. Because we always talk about the good old days of professional wrestling. You are witnessing some good old days right now. You are going, whenever this storyline concludes and all these guys retire or go away, I hope that's forever away. You are going to look back on this and be like, I miss that. That was when it was really good. This storyline is unbelievable. Professional wrestling, when it is done right, there's no better art form. Tonight in that main event, the culmination. The tag team titles are in the main event. And, deservedly so. The tag team titles sometimes don't even get defended on WrestleMania. Tonight they're in the main event and they feel like the most important titles you could imagine. And this storyline culminating, there were grown people in the audience crying at this finish. There were grown people jumping up and down in SoFi Stadium tonight. Because when professional wrestling is done right, there's nothing better. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win the tag team titles from the Usos after the Usos have been champions forever. Everything about this was perfect. I thought it was perfect. It had a different, it just had a different feel than normal tag matches. It had a different, just the way that the match, happened over the course of the however long they were out there. It felt different than your normal tag match. I thought the Usos were great. Owens was great. Sami was great. The commentary was great. The crowd was great. Everything about this was perfection. Professional wrestling perfection. And you know what? There are tons of people, when they watch wrestling, they just want to see great matches. They just want to see great match after great match after great match, and that's fine. But to me, and maybe it's personal taste, if there's no story behind it, when you get a story like this, that's what makes you feel something. To me, as a fan, I am never more invested in professional wrestling than when there is just a storyline that has me invested, and then you build to a match like this. Just perfect. As far as the night as a whole, it was a great show, and I know people hail WrestleMania 17 as the best WrestleMania ever, and I get it. I have seen that show many times, and it was fantastic, and I know it seems untouchable that any WrestleMania could ever be that good, but if tomorrow night is as good as tonight was, we're going to have a talk. We're just going to have a talk. We can debate it, but if tomorrow night is as good or even better than tonight was, we're going to have a conversation about where this thing ranks. Because tonight was great. Real quick, the opener with Cena and Theory, I said it was a great show. Kind of started off with a little bit of a dud. I mean, it kind of just felt like, hey, here's John Cena. He's here. He's going to put over this kid. We're just going to get straight to the point because we know we've got other great matches coming down the line on this show. Here's John Cena, everybody. I loved the Make-A-Wish entrance. Thought the finish felt uninspired. And I still think Theory's going to need more work after this. I don't think he's a made man now that he won this match. But, I mean, it was what it was. The men's showcase tag match, I knew this had a chance to be kind of a sleeper because of all the great athletes involved in it. And they went out there and they just ran a marathon to the finish. Gable looked great. Ricochet looked great. Even Strowman looked great. Otis was over. The Street Profits looked awesome. And Montez Ford's going to be a star. All the German suplex to Strowman, the big suplex they did with the pyramid, and Montez is just upside down for 10 seconds. Unbelievable. And that match was so much fun. And I knew it was going to be a sleeper, but it was great. Street Profits won that. and that's probably the right team to win. Logan Paul and Seth Rollins, you can think whatever you want about Logan Paul. I don't know how he is this good at professional wrestling. I don't know how he got this good this quick, but he's got the charisma, he's got the athleticism, he gets it. KSI being there, I thought that was really, really fun, really clever. Seth Rollins is so over. I think he's going to have a big year this year, another big year. Everybody singing the song was awesome, and this match was great. These two, I knew it was going to be great, and it lived up. Thought it was awesome. The Bayley Damage Control versus Lita, Becky, and Trish. I thought it was probably the weakest match of the night. By the time it got to the end, it was okay, but there was some parts in there where it just felt like kind of a mess, like it was breaking down. I thought Damage Control should have won. I think they have to break up now. I don't know what you do with them because they lose every time they have a big match, and tonight was no exception. So I don't know where you go with them from here, but this was probably the weakest match of the night. Wasn't a disaster, but just felt like the weakest match of the night to me. Ray versus Dom, I thought it was perfect. I thought it was exactly what it needed to be. Dom's entrance, the prison, coming out with the cops. So ridiculous, but that's the point, right? It's so ridiculous. And Dom, how far has he come in a year? Unbelievable. Ray was great. I thought his wife and daughter at ringside were great. Them getting them involved. Priest and Finn coming down. The new LWO coming down to kind of get them out of there. Bad Bunny getting involved. This was, some smoke and mirrors in there, but this was exactly what it needed to be. Huge pop for Ray getting the win. And the crowd was really hot for everything, and this was no exception. Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's title. I had my doubts. I really did. I was worried that this was going to fall flat, that this was going to be kind of disappointing, and boy, was I an idiot. This was one of the best women's matches that I've ever seen. Kudos to them, because I think these two women were originally going to main event, and then they got kind of ousted from the main event for Usos, Owens, and Zayn. So they went out there, and it looked like they had something to prove. They had a chip on their shoulder, and they wanted to go out there, and I think they were mad that they weren't in the main event. I think the Usos, Owens, and Zayn was the right call because of the story, but this match was main event caliber between Charlotte and Rhea. I thought this was sensational. I mean, they just beat the crap out of each other for, I don't know how long the match was, but it felt like probably 25, 30 minutes that they just, oh my gosh, big move after big move. These two women, like, you're going to remember this match. This match was fantastic. It may get the old 5-star rating. It was that good. In ring, probably better than the tag match, but I favor the tag match just because of the story. But with that being said, Charlotte and Rhea, kudos to those two women. They are beasts, and they proved it tonight. That match will live in infamy. And then, of course, the main event, as I said, we got an appearance from Pat McAfee, George Kittle. If the fans were dead for anything, it felt like they were kind of dead for all of that stuff with Pat and Kittle and Miz and Snoop and all that stuff. But, and Ray's entrance. I got to talk about Rey Mysterio's entrance. Took my breath away hearing Eddie Guerrero's music. How long has it been since we heard Lie, Cheat, Steal? But this show tonight was just great. It was fantastic. I don't know how it could have been any better. You could say there weren't many surprises, but they didn't need it. With match quality like this and storylines like this, they didn't need any surprises. And I don't know what they got up their sleeve for tomorrow night, but if it's anything like tonight, this is something. Kudos to everybody involved. What a fantastic night one. Can't wait for night 2. And night 1 gets an A+ from me. Thank you guys, and let me know what you thought in the comments. Bye.